All right. Good morning, everybody. Hector here, Corpus Christi, getting ready to kick off our next episode of our Kettlebell Expert Secrets. So it's been a while since we've had this episode with summer vacation and all, and I've actually been out of town a little bit during August. I got a lot of traveling planned for September, etc. But that was in May. So if you can hear me, let me know. I'm actually doing this. I'm doing this at my gym, and I'm not sure if all the audio is coming through. So if it's not working, make a comment or something like that in the comment section below. But I'm excited to talk about today's topic. So, one of the most common exercises when it comes to kettlebells, everybody knows, is the swing, right? The kettlebell swing. The sexiest exercise of kettlebell lifting is the snatch, right? So everybody wants to learn how to snatch right away. Everybody wants to learn how to do the clean and jerk right away. Everybody wants to do all the other exercises first, right? Because they're the sexiest ones. Marketing tells you, oh, these burn the most fat, etc. And they do, and it's true, right? But today we're going to be talking about the redheaded stepchild of the kettlebell exercises. So just a quick little heads up. I'm not sure how good my internet's going to be. Here in Corpus Christi, we are actually about to get a tropical storm / hurricane tomorrow. So I'm not sure how well my internet's going to be for this live broadcast. Can you call this a podcast? I don't know. I'd like to get a podcast started, but this is the first step. So, with that said, let's talk about the redheaded stepchild of the kettlebell exercises, and that would be the kettlebell clean. The kettlebell clean, I think, is the redheaded stepchild. It's that one exercise that always kind of gets left off. It's not that sexy, but the benefits to the kettlebell clean are huge. The carryover is huge to many sports, but for health in general, it's an amazing exercise. So, why the kettlebell clean? One of the best kettlebell instructors of our time, his name is Mark Rifkin, and he quipped something that makes a lot of sense and is true. He said that the kettlebell swing is the center of the kettlebell universe. I'm paraphrasing, something to that effect. Mark, if I butchered that, I apologize. But essentially, he said that the kettlebell swing is the center of the kettlebell universe, right? And what he means by that is the kettlebell swing. From there, that is your foundation, and it is just like the deadlift. The kettlebell swing. From the kettlebell swing, all of the other exercises will begin to branch off. So from the kettlebell swing, you'll transition into one-handed swing, right? You got different variations. You got one-handed swing. You got alternating swings. You've got dead stop, power swings. You got many different variations. From the swing, we transition into the kettlebell clean. Okay. So from the kettlebell clean, we transition into the kettlebell snatch, right? So the swing definitely is the foundation, and the swing is definitely the center of the universe. But I would like to take his quote or his quip one step further. And that would be to say the kettlebell clean is the center of the double kettlebell universe. From the clean, all of our other exercises will branch. From the clean, that is like our crossroad. The clean is our transition period. The clean is where we'll take the bell overhead, whether it's a strict press, a push press, a jerk, front squat, and many other exercises that you can come up with. But those are pretty much going to be the most fundamental exercises from the kettlebell clean. Is the strict press, the push press, the jerk, the bent press, though it can be the windmill, can start there, right? You clean it, take it overhead, and especially the front squat. So the kettlebell clean is the center of the double kettlebell universe. We also have a saying in our certifications, and we also have a saying just in the kettlebell world, kettlebell strength world, is that your strict press or your push press or your jerk or whatever precedes whatever succeeds the clean, right, is only as good as the clean that came before it, right? So in order to have a really good press, in order to have a really good push press or jerk or bent press or front squat, in order to have any of those to be successful, we have to have a really good clean. And we've got to master the fundamentals of, and another aspect of the clean is to master the rack position, okay? Is to master the rack position. Right? So if you think about from the kettlebell clean, as we're transitioning into what we call the rack, so for those that may be new to kettlebells, the rack is that crossroad. Okay, the rack is bringing the bell to the chest, what we call the rack. So from here, we're going to take the bell overhead. From here, we're going to take the bell. We're going to take the bell overhead. We're going to front squat it. We're going to do many other different exercises with it. So if you think about, let's talk about the front squat for a second in correlation with the clean. The front squat, if you think about it, the front squat is the rack position that moves up and down, right? So getting comfortable in the rack and mastering the kettlebell clean is going to be essential to having a good front squat. But that front squat and that rack is only as good as the clean that comes before it, right? And you're probably wondering, well, why does the clean have to be good in order for the press to be good, right? Well, let's take the press, for example. Physics proves, right, that for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, right? So whenever we clean the bell up, here, I'll demo for you. I actually have a kettlebell here. I've got my trusty bell here. So in order to have a good press, in order to have a good front squat, we have to have a really good clean. So for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So let's say my kettlebell clean is less than optimal. And I haven't mastered the clean, and it's slamming into my body. So ideally what we want is the clean. Ideally what we want is the clean does a couple of things really quick. Okay, the clean does a couple of things. The clean produces, reduces, and redirects force. Okay? Be clean produces, reduces, and redirects force. All right? So when I sit back, I hike, I produce, okay? I redirect by pulling the belt into my body, and I reduce the force by bracing and receiving that belt into the rack. So all that energy that I'm driving here, and the belt, as I begin to reduce, and I'm receiving the belt into the rack, what happens is, if I don't receive that energy properly, let's say the bell bangs into me. Let's say the bell bangs into me. You see that? Okay. Let's say the bell bangs into me. If the bell is slamming into my arms, if the bell is slamming into my forearms and is slamming into my chest, what happens is all that energy is taking me backward. Okay, all the energy is taking me backward, and it's going to be hard for me to recover to have a really good press. So let's say we're attempting the beast tamer, or let's say that we're trying to go for a new rep max, a really heavy bell. If we don't receive that bell properly in the rack position, once it's that press, because we don't receive the bell properly in the rack, that energy is going to kind of throw us off. It's going to be hard to reset, and the longer that the bell sits in the rack, the heavier that it becomes, and it's going to be harder to get a really good press off at that point. All right, so we want to absorb that energy efficiently. So here's ideally what we want. When I clean the bell to the rack, okay, when I receive it, all of the energy should go down. Okay, I should be able to receive the energy, and the energy goes down into my feet, and for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So once I clean the bell and I receive it into the rack, all that energy has gone down, and all the energy is actually coming back up into the bell. And that's going to give me a nice little launching pad to go overhead. So instead of this, instead of slamming into me, I want to receive the bell nice and clean, hence the name of the exercise. I want to receive the bell into the rack the cleanest way possible, without any impact, without any energy leakage. Something like that. Okay? Versus that throws my balance off. Okay? Once I receive the bell efficiently into the rack, all that energy is now going to go down through my legs, through my trunk, into my legs, and then all that energy is going to come right back up into the bell. Once that energy comes back up into the bell, what we got here? Kato. This is the hardstyle pup. He just ran in. Hey, Kato. So once we receive the bell into the rack, that energy is going to go down into the legs, and the energy is going to come right back up into the bell, and that's going to give us a really good press, a really good push press, a really good jerk, and then even a front squat. Okay, so that's why the kettlebell clean is such an important exercise. It produces, reduces, and redirects force. That's the goal. That's the skill of the clean. Okay, it's the center of the kettlebell universe, double kettlebell universe. And at the end of the day, it's a great standalone exercise. At the end of the day, it's a great standalone exercise. I think in one of Pavel's books, he talks about doing a set of 10 cleans with a pair of 32s. Your heart rate's going to jack through the roof, and it actually stays there for I don't know how much time. It's been a while since I've read one of, I think it was Return of the Kettlebell. But when you do a set of 10 cleans with a pair of 32s, you're going to feel that, okay? So doing heavy cleans regularly or practicing them once out of the week or twice out of the week or something like that, as any overhead work or whatever you have scheduled for that day is going to have a lot of good carryover. So for the carryover to athletics, whether it's jiu-jitsu or if it's wrestling or whatever it is, for carryover to athletics, once your body is able to produce the force, now you're generating power, right? You're able to reduce the force by learning how to receive that bell into the rack. So that's teaching your body how to receive impact. So that's going to build resilience, and that's going to build durability. Okay, so at the end of the day in athletics, it's all about durability, right? It's not how many games you can play. It's not how good you are within a year or something like that. The goal is to have longevity and to be able to perform your sport and be able to perform at life on a regular day in and day out basis, right? So this is a crucial piece of building a very strong and resilient body, and I think that highly comes with mastering the kettlebell clean. So like I said, it's a great standalone exercise. So, heavy sets of 5. So what would be considered heavy? Well, let's say you're a beginner to intermediate kettlebeller. I would recommend, sets of 5 with, like, for a gentleman, sets of 5 with a pair of 24s, and eventually working your way to a pair of 32s. For strong gentlemen, I would work your way starting with a pair of 32s and working your way up to like a pair of 40s or even higher if your skill and your strength level is at that point. But heavy sets of cleans are really going to work up the nervous system. It's going to help you generate a lot of power because you've got to move the bell a greater distance compared to the swing. You got to bring the bell all the way to the rack. And it's pretty comparable to like the power clean. You're not really dipping underneath. You're actually just driving those bells straight to the rack position. For ladies, I would recommend starting with like a pair of 16 kilo bells. Pair of 16 kilo bells, sets of 5, maybe 2 or 3 sets of 5 before your practice. Really get the body woken up. And then work your way towards like a pair of 20s. And then for stronger ladies, pair of 24s. And then for any of you mutants out there, ladies, pair of 28s, pair of 32s. There are some crazy women out there that can actually do that. For guys, work your way up to a pair of beasts. Cleaning a pair of beasts for a set of 10, you will give a whole new meaning to the word beast mode. You will become crazy strong, resilient, and I would hate to grapple with a guy that can do sets of 10 cleans with a pair of 48 kilo bells. Skilled or not, I would hate to grapple with a guy that's got that kind of mental fortitude to go through something like that. So that's pretty much it on the clean. The clean, guys, is the often most overlooked kettlebell exercise. I call it the redheaded stepchild. It doesn't get a whole lot of love, but the health benefits and the performance benefits are probably second to none. For pound to build resilience in the body, put on muscle, create explosive power and brute strength. There's really not another exercise that compare. There's a reason why your top elite Garavix, and there's a reason why it's part of our level 2 curriculum for the Strong First. The clean, double clean, and jerk. Man, that is the black belt of kettlebell lifts. And when you sandwich a clean in between each overhead movement, whether it's a strict press, a push press, or a jerk, you've completed the ultimate training program. You won't need to do a whole lot more if you're doing something like a clean and press or a clean and push press or a clean and jerk protocol. You will get everything that you need. You won't need to do a whole lot. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I've got to cut today's episode a little short. We're actually expecting a hurricane for those or tropical storm / hurricane. So for those of you that are tuning in, that's something that I got to head out and I've got to start preparing for that. But if you guys are at a loss and you're not sure what you should be doing for your workouts, maybe you don't have time. Maybe you're a busy parent or individual like myself. where you only have 10 to 15 minutes a day to get things done. I highly encourage you to grab one of my ebooks that's on my website. You can go to hardstylekettlebell.com /KB-workout-snacks, and you can get a compilation of some of my best single and double kettlebell corpus. Yeah, corpus always floods, Jesus. We might want to invest into a canoe, right? So if you're looking for, some really great quick workout snacks, either both single and double kettlebell, there's a really good press program inside kettlebell workout snacks that you can get, and you can integrate the clean in between that. So you'll definitely get some of those benefits. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for tuning in. Grab your copy for free of Kettlebell Workout Snacks. I guarantee you will not regret it. You will love every one of those snacks. So I've heard nothing but really great things about the Kettlebell Workout Snacks. So that's all I got. Tomorrow, I'll probably be on the road towards San Antonio because I don't know how bad the flooding is going to be here in Corpus. So tomorrow, tune in. I'm going to be interviewing, strength coach extraordinaire. This woman is amazing. I've had the pleasure of working with her a couple of times. Her name is Joanna Teran, and she is from San Diego, California. She is a top-notch strength coach when it comes to body weight, and when it comes to kettlebell strength training. So tune in tomorrow. We're going to be going live at 11 Central, 9 a.m. Pacific. So tune in for that tomorrow, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.